Hey, welcome back everyone to Collector Not Hoarder. This is Tom, and today we're going to do a little mashup of some VRs, four to be exact. I've been wanting to do these for a little while now, and haven't really had the time. So instead of flooding your feed with multiple videos in a row, I'm just going to go ahead and put these all in one video. And before I get started, I want to thank my beautiful wife for my light setup and my microphone setup that I'm using for the first time in this video. So let me know if there's anything that needs adjusted with the light or the sound, and I think we might know who to blame. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with a VR for Hodges 1455. He was wanting us to talk about a memory of a good hitting pitcher and show a card of him. And, I followed the American League a lot whenever I was younger. And so I don't have any memories of some good hitting pitchers, but I wanted to do a little research for this. So I actually found a pretty interesting case, which was for this card here, this Mr. Rick Wise, this stunner of a card. I'm kidding. This is out of my 1971 set. Otherwise, I would have no reason to own this card. But what I found out about him was in 1971, actually, he was facing the Cincinnati Reds, and he managed to throw a no hitter against them and hit two home runs in the same game. So if you know the Cincinnati Reds, big red machine back in the 70s, he was going against Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, the best of the best at that point in baseball. And he managed to no hit him. He was one walk away from a perfect game. And one of his home runs that he hit came off of one of the best relievers at that point in time, which was Clay Carroll. So pretty impressive. So I thought that was really neat to learn that. So I wouldn't have found that out if I wasn't researching for that VR. So very cool. So moving on to the next VR is going to be for Commenting Collector, and he wanted us to show something that we've kind of held out on opening. And so what I'm going to share is this 1989 complete set of Upper Deck. So that's the set that has the all famous Griffey rookie card. So everybody, that has their rookie card of Griffey, I always say I have one, but I've never seen it because my copy is still in that box. I ended up picking that box up back in 2018 or 2019. I think I paid $40 for it. So love that I have it. Wish I had a copy of the rookie, but that'll come at another time to get one of those. But next up, we're gonna do the VR for Rocket Rick J. And with his VR, he wanted us to uh, show a card that inspired us from another YouTuber to pick up. And what I'm gonna go with, typically I pick up things kind of to the beat of my own drum, so I don't really follow a whole lot. But this one I can definitely say there was somebody behind this one whenever I picked this up. And this is the 1919 Chocolate Guerin Boutron John Rockefeller. And this is in a PSA 4. I believe there might only be one copy graded higher than this. But, I've mentioned in previous videos that my background is in oil and gas. And so John D. Rockefeller plays a big part in oil and gas history in the United States. And it was actually Ryan at Breakout Cards that had shown a John Rockefeller card. I don't recall if it was actually this one or there's actually a Felix Potin card that's a Rockefeller card from right around the same time period. But I know whenever he showed his, that made me throw up a save search into my eBay, and I waited nearly a year for this one to actually come up. That save search sat there for a long time without anything populating, and then one day this one popped up, and it was a super nice copy, and it was already graded, and it was a very high grade considering for this copy. But this is one that I would say I was influenced to buy, And me and Ryan actually have a lot of similar collecting habits, especially anymore. I used to do a lot more baseball than what I do nowadays, but this one I have to kind of owe to him that I picked that up. Super happy to have that in my collection for my non-sports stuff. And then the last one is actually going to be for Darren at Return to Collecting. So Darren wanted us to shout out 3 channels, and they had to have under 200 subscribers. So one, I'm one of those channels, but that's not in my list. I'm actually gonna throw out Warren D and C. Ali, Hammer 44, and Hodges 1455 that I just did my VR for. I will put links for those guys down in my description, so you can go check out their channels. They all have great channels, all under 200 subscribers, and definitely well worth a look. But Darren also wanted us to share 2 cards, 2 of our favorite cards that are in our collection. And first off, I want to share this card here. So this is my 1909 Ogden's Tom Thomas. I collect this guy for a personal reason, so if you know me, you know why I collect him. But aside from that, uh, there was a pivot in my collecting, like I just mentioned, and that happened almost exactly 2 years ago. And this was the first card that kind of took me into that realm of doing some minor sports and non-sports. So if you look at my eBay purchasing history, you can see a definitive line where I stopped buying baseball and started going in a completely different direction, which is where I've been and haven't really looked back for the last 2 years. And then my last card that I'm going to talk about is this 1954 Bowman Mickey Mantle. I know pretty much everybody and their brother out there has this card, and this is more than just a Mantle card to me. This kind of represents my collecting over my lifetime as a whole. Um, so I can attribute my collecting to my grandfather. He bought me my first baseball cards whenever I was 7 years old. He bought me the 1991 Upper Deck complete set. He put it in numerical order for me and put it into a binder, which I still have that. I'll do a later video on my grandfather and his collection and stuff. But he passed away over 20 years ago, and this card was actually from his collection. I recently had it graded, but it was mainly just to encase it, just so nothing else happened to it. Um, but it means it means a lot to me. It's a pretty personal card. I have a lot of cards in my collection, and I would say that this would be the one that I would hang on to. I have some that are possibly worth more than what this is worth, and some bigger cards, but this one has the sentimental value to me. So which is why I picked this as probably one of my favorite cards in my collection. Yes, it's a 2, but it's a beauty to me, and that's something that will never go anywhere. That's gonna stay here for the long haul. But that's gonna conclude my VR responses. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And remember that there's a fine line between a collector and a hoarder. Which one are you?